And I don't know about you guys. This was exactly what I thought it would be. Oh, gosh. How many times now are we going to see Notre Dame just be bad in a big-time matchup? 2 games in a row now. They stunk against Clemson, and now they stink against Alabama. At least they did have the big win against Clemson earlier in the year, but that's when Lawrence wasn't here. But, man, this game was just... What do I start off the new year? Again, this was everything I thought it would be. Alabama's offense, completely dominant, just dynamic. Devontae Smith, given the Heisman now. I mean, this... Oh, my gosh, what a game he had. 3 touchdowns. And, yeah, he's the prohibited favorite to win the Heisman, and he should be. He's just an unbelievable wide receiver. Just so explosive. Mac Jones had a very nice day as well. This game, to me, I knew this game was over. On the first kickoff, on the opening kickoff, when Notre Dame... what's up in Phoenix? When Notre Dame, caught the ball, and then it was fumbled. Notre Dame recovered it. But right then, Alabama, somehow Alabama guy hit a Notre Dame guy, fumbled, Notre Dame recovered. And I knew, okay, Notre Dame got it, but I kind of knew, okay, this is where the rest of the game is going to be. And then Alabama went down the field on the opening drive and won the Rose Bowl. Oh, can we get on the Rose Bowl here? This did not feel like the Rose Bowl. That's like having the Daytona 500 in Indianapolis. It's like having the Indianapolis 500 in Milwaukee. This did not feel like the Rose Bowl. You can put the Rose Bowl logo on there. You can put everything. I just the whole time watching this, I'm like, this is not the Rose Bowl. This feels like the Sugar Bowl or the Cotton Bowl. This did not feel like the Rose Bowl. It was so bizarre. I'm like, I know why they're not having it this year, again, because of the whole COVID thing. But the whole time it just annoyed me. I'm like, just get rid of the name. Get rid of the name, get rid of the name Rose Bowl, because this doesn't deserve to have it. It was just, oh my gosh, this was bad. And yeah, Alabama this. And in fairness to Notre Dame, and Ian Book who had a bad game, in fairness to all those guys, who's beating this team? Except maybe Clemson, who's beating this team? They're just so dynamic on offense. There's, what is this now, 20 games in a row now, or 30? What is it? There's some ridiculous stat that they put together there at the end of how many games in a row they've scored more than 25 points. And yeah, Alabama scored 30 points in 25 straight games. That's the second longest streak ever, behind UCF from 2017 to 19, who had 31 straight games of 30 points. So if they score 30 more points in the next game, I'm sorry, they need 6 more. So they need this game and the next 6 coming up next year. But then they'll have the record. But yeah, and also Notre Dame, and here's back to another point I made. Notre Dame 0 for 7 in BCS or New Year's 6 bowl games since 1998. They've been outscored by 161 points, and all 7 losses have been by at least 14 points. It's like having the Super Bowl in MetLife Stadium. Hey, in fairness, that was actually a good weather Super Bowl. That Super Bowl had nice weather in it. But the next day it was a huge snowstorm. They're winning their 500th chip. Yeah, they probably are. This would actually be... Gosh, it'd be too many. I did a list yesterday. I compiled a list together of consensus national championships, and that is, I tried to get rid of all the split championships and just go with the year that the most championship selectors, because college football doesn't have a tournament. They have this, but it's usually a bunch of selectors to decide it, whether it's the college football playoff or the BCS or the AP or the USA Today poll or coaches poll, whatever. So in terms of consensus national championships, Alabama has 12, which is the 3rd most of all time behind Yale and Princeton. They got theirs back in the 1800s and early 1900s, but this would be their consensus 13th championship if they were able to pull it off, and the 6th for Nick Saban. And yeah, it looks like it here. Again, who's stopping them? They're dynamic on offense. And yeah, early on in the game, the first drive, the Rose Bowl is just not the same at Rose Bowl. Yeah, of course. I'm just sitting there. I'm like, it just feels like Devontae Smith, 3 touchdowns, ties the Rose Bowl record. Rose Bowl. 20 touchdowns, tied most in SEC history. 5 receiving touchdowns in college football playoff games, tied for the most all time. He is a beast, and whatever NFL team gets him will be a very, very lucky team. Again, he just has all the makings of a group. I mean, the plays that he was making today, just going down the sidelines, just the beautiful, his speed. His speed is electric. And I know that's not a secret here, but it really stood out in this game. And yeah, and this game ended for me in the first drive. Again, there was the early touchdown, or there was the early, so there was the Notre Dame punt. Or again, Notre Dame fumbled the opening kickoff, got it back, punted, and then Alabama first drive, 7 plays, 79 yards. Mac Jones goes to Miller for 15, Najee for 14, Billingsley for 8, forced up for 5, Najee Harris runs for 11, and then incompletion, and then Devontae Smith for 26 yards. So just 7-play drive, boom, 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 boom down the field, and you knew Notre Dame wasn't going to stop. But then next drive, Notre Dame punts it away, and then Alabama another touchdown, headlined by Najee Harris with one of the most insane hurdles you'll see. I mean, that was just beast. And then Jahleel Billingsley. I can't pronounce his name, but yeah, and then the touchdown. And then Notre Dame almost got back into it because they had a nice drive, a 15-play, 75-yard, 8-minute drive that made it 14-7. Okay, maybe Notre Dame can pull something off. The very next drive, Alabama, down the field, boom, 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 Devontae Smith, 34-yard touchdown. And then it was 21-7, and Notre Dame never got back in the game after that. That was, they didn't get back in until late, when Ian Book ran it in for a touchdown and covered the darn spread. The spread was, 18 and a half? Alabama wins by 17. Good job. And yeah, I know this college year has an asterisk to it, but you know what? We gotta pay. It's gonna be a champion. It's gonna go down in the history books as a championship. Whoever wins it, even though this year has an asterisk, and I agree with you. At the same time, it's going to count. So, whatever. And it's not like Alabama wasn't a great team. Like, they've been maybe the best team all year, with the exception of maybe Clemson. And we'll probably get that game in the semifinals. Georgia has a player named Kobe Bryant, R.I.P. I guess nice tribute there. But, yeah, man, I don't know. And people are going to argue, whether or not Notre Dame should have been the fourth team. Because, again, there was anger when Notre Dame was selected, and one of the big reasons being, Notre Dame, here we go again. They're gonna have a terrible game in the semifinals. And, of course, they did. But, I also don't know. My whole thing is, whether or not this was Notre Dame or Texas A&M or Oklahoma, this is probably going to happen anyway. Alabama was probably going to win big time anyway, on the next year's college football playoff. Absolutely. So, yeah, at least you're okay with it. At least because I think you kind of knew going in that, this wasn't going to go anywhere. But yeah, this game was so just nothing. And now my cat is about to get in the way. You got to get down. My cat is trying to get on the screen here. On Cincinnati, I forgot. He's a safety. They kept calling his name though. Okay, Georgia Cincinnati. Whatever. I guess that was the game earlier. I guess it was Georgia Cincinnati. I didn't watch that game because it was just a Kobe Bryant. Okay. The Georgia Cincy game was crazy. I saw parts of it at the end, but I didn't really, because again, this college football year is kind of hard to get really into, so I really only watched the semifinal game. And yeah, I'm gonna watch. I'll watch the other one coming up here. We'll watch Ohio State and Clemson. We'll watch that game coming up. And just hope. And we all expected that game would be better. We all knew going in this wasn't gonna be close. We all knew. And it completely lived up to every expectation. I was hoping that Notre Dame would make it close, but we all knew this was going to be a complete blowout. And that's what it was. It was not as high scoring. I thought Alabama would score 40 or 50. Like, it would be that championship game they had 10 years ago with Manti Te'o when Alabama just rolled right past them. That didn't happen this time. So I'll give them that. But yeah, this was still just Notre Dame belonged nowhere on that field. But again, how many teams could compete on this field at Alabama? Maybe Florida, but Florida I didn't think deserved to be in the college football playoff. Either Notre Dame or Texas A&M, when Kobe caught the interception, I yelled, "Kobe!" That's good. But whether it was Notre Dame or Texas A&M or Georgia, whoever it was going to lose. Well, I'm sorry, or Oklahoma, Georgia, whatever it was, that team was going to lose. Or Cincinnati, that team was going to lose. We all knew that. And again, that's nothing against the other teams here. It's just that Alabama is so good and so dominant on offense and so well coached, and they just have everything to a perfect T. That it's just so difficult to win that game. So, congrats to Alabama there for the win. Again, going back to yet another national championship game. Nick Saban again going for his 7th title, his 6th consensus title, but this would be his 7th championship. Yeah, I'm not gonna say the name of that last player that you mentioned, but yeah, this is the greatest dynasty in the history of college football. When you look at the greatest dynasties in sports, this is up there. Just in team sports, it is just ridiculous how this team every year is able to do this. It's crazy the amount of talent they have, the skill. It is just crazy. And so all credit to Alabama for what they've been able to do here for the last decade plus now. Because when did that championship? Because yeah, Saban came I think in 06, 07. And yeah, they beat Georgia in 08, I remember. And then yeah, since 09, they've just been on such a fantastic roll. Over a decade now of this. It is remarkable that it is held up. And again, it's just a testament to Nick Saban and his greatness. And people might hate him. People might think he's the worst person on planet Earth. Fine. He's the greatest college football coach ever. And I don't think there's any argument. Bernie Bierman, Bear Bryant, maybe he could be up there. But for me, it's Nick Saban, number one. And he'll now have a chance to really put if he can win this game against whoever it is, whether it's Clemson or Ohio State, can put the finishing touches on what I believe to be the end of the argument of him being the greatest coach of all time. And we'll look and see if he could do that here. But yeah, again, this game, Devontae Smith, the Rose Bowl game MVP. Gosh, I hate it. No, it's not the Rose Bowl. There's no beautiful skyline. It's not Rose. This is not the Rose Bowl. Change the darn name. Oh, the next year's the championship at Lucas Oil Stadium. Okay, all right. Looking forward to that. That's where they have the Big Ten championship game every year. And of course, that's where the Colts play. you would be a good NFL coach. I don't think he would because he was an NFL coach and he wasn't very good. He was with the Dolphins and he stunk. I mean, he was with LSU, then he said, all right, I'll go to the Dolphins. He stunk with the Dolphins, and then he decided, all right, I'll come back to college, coach at Alabama, and he became a legend at Alabama. I mean, if you're LSU, you do have to sit there and go, what might have been. But think about, with LSU, they've had 3 championships with their last 3 coaches. Whether it was Saban, whether it was Miles, whether it was Ed Orgeron, they've had a fantastic legacy. And the Lake Euless. I'm sorry, Ranch. I'm sorry that you have such hatred for Nick Saban. But again, it's just greatness there and the talent that they built up here. And yeah, this game was going nowhere. This game, we all knew this game was going absolutely nowhere. Alabama was going to just run it out from the beginning. Again, Notre Dame, the opening of this game decided. Notre Dame could not get a good drive going, and then Alabama just rolled right past them there on the next drive. Should have been the MAGA Bowl, the Make America Great Again Bowl. I mean, it has Alabama, so there's that. And Indiana, so yeah, you have Mike Pence there. But yeah, this. And Patrick Surtain, the defensive MVP. I don't understand why there's 2 MVPs. Gosh, there's so much confetti. It was nice to have fans there. I will say this. People will argue about, whether or not there should have been fans. I was glad there was. I take that as opposed to no fans at all. So I'm glad we had at least some crowd noise. Hopefully there's no COVID here. I mean, it's ridiculous the number of cases that there are in this country. It is just crazy how many there are. And, but... Yeah, again, in this game, Alabama was in complete control from early on. Notre Dame could not get that opening drive to score. Alabama did. The Najee Harris hurdle is the play of the game. Devontae Smith, the player of the game. Mac Jones is the nostalgia or the My Sister Bowl. That's funny. That's funny. And yeah, I've made those jokes aplenty about Alabama as well. So I can't. I'm not above those jokes. But yeah. So yeah, Alabama Rose Bowl champions. Good for them. And now they head off to yet another championship. I mean, how many is this now? What is this? The third, fourth? It's like 5 out of 6 that they've been in the championship game. Because yeah, I'm checking 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. They didn't play last year, so yeah, that's 5 out of 6. I went to a party of 100 last night, so wish me luck. Oh yeah, I totally wish you luck. I don't know why you would do that. And yeah. We'll see what Notre Dame can do. We'll see if Notre Dame can evolve next year. But it's just all the same things. No matter who they bring in, it's the same thing. They always get to the big spot and they always blow it. And maybe one year eventually, but I feel like as long as Nick Saban's there, they're not going anywhere. And Ranch can't be stopped. COVID can stop anybody. But yeah, with all these teams, it's just such a. They're just all so dominant. And now they're going to show the Sugar Bowl. They're showing the Superdome now. They're getting ready to show Clemson and Ohio State, and we'll have a live reaction immediately after that game. I'm sick of Bama. They're boring and cliche. Yeah, but, I like dynasties. I'm one of the few people. I actually really like dynasties, and I appreciate what they're able to do. And I just admire how hard it is how difficult these dynasties are. I give them so much credit. So, yeah, I have total respect for it, and I actually kind of like seeing it, which is why I respect Alabama. I stayed home and picked up... Okay, then again, they were around people. Okay, fine. So it's less dangerous, I guess. And we're now 30 minutes away from Clemson, Ohio State. We're going to be off the air in about 15 minutes. We'll wrap things up then, and then we'll get ready for Clemson, Ohio State here. Again, this game should be closer. I'm expecting a Clemson win. Ohio State could pull off the upset here if they play their cards right. But I do think this will probably be a Clemson win. And again, this would be another... How many championship games in a row for Clemson now? What is it, like 4 out of 5, 5 out of 6? So, I like Clemson better. I mean, yeah. I don't know. I'm sick of Dabo's no one believes in us. When like 5 years of that, it's kind of dumb. But other than that, yeah, I do like both of these teams. I appreciate both of these teams and the dominance that they have. And this would be the championship game. This would be the big star because people want to see these teams. People want to see Alabama and Clemson. People might get sick of them, but those are the 2 big profile teams in this country. They've been that way for a half decade now. I guess the only concern that you have is Ohio State. Dabo Swinney and Ryan Day right now shaking hands with their masks on before this game. So, again, both fantastic teams. And yeah, the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. Again, I'm picking Clemson over Ohio State. Come on, let's go. All right. Good luck there. By the way, if you're new to this channel and you like what you see, make sure you subscribe down below for more content just like this every single week. USC's my team, but we haven't done anything since the Darnold era. That's right, yeah. You know what, man, a USC quarterback flaming out in the pros. Where have I heard that before? Darnold, Carson Palmer, Matt Leinart, Matt Barkley. There was one more. I was going to say Brady Quinn, but no, he went to Notre Dame. There's one more USC quarterback. Mark Sanchez. Gosh, USC quarterbacks USC quarterbacks just stink in the pros. I don't know what it is about them, but they are just awful. And so yeah, I'm expecting Clemson to win this game, but don't know. Texas is my team. I really want them to return back to the glory days back in 05. Yeah, no, I get you, man. I mean that was a great year in 05, and that's probably the best college. I may have been the one person, but back then I was actually rooting for USC because I wanted to see them go undefeated. I wanted dynasty. So I was kind of disappointed that Texas won, but now looking back on it, I'm like, that was the right move, and I'm glad it happened that way. And what a great game that was. I mean, Vince Young, he's going to the corner. He's got it. That's still the best college football game probably ever played. Just legendary. Just pulled out them grim. I'm a Trojan. Wow. You went that kind of pun? I was trying to understand where you were going with that, and then you went with that kind of pun. Yeah, because Trojan is a brand of those. Yeah. I've not gotten those ads. I used to get those ads all the time, and I hated it. I was like, I don't care. Like, I don't want them. They're creepy and weird. Like, fine on an adult website, fine. But I don't want to see those. I don't want to see Trojan ads. Don't get me started. It's still the greatest college football game ever. Oh yeah, just legendary. Vince Young in that game, just remarkable. And we've had some great college football games in between that. In the years since, we had Alabama, Georgia a couple years ago was a fantastic championship game. Florida State, Auburn, highly underrated championship game. Any Alabama Clemson championship game, I feel like for the most part has been pretty good. We've gotten a lot of great championship games in the collegiate sports. Ohio State, Miami, of course, back in 2003 was legendary. I don't count Boise State, Oklahoma, even though that was an amazing game, it wasn't a championship game. Alabama, Auburn, obviously was legendary. So we've had a lot of great championship games, or a lot of great college games in college football. But yeah, they won Clemson 27. Yeah, that was fantastic. With Deshaun Watson scoring a touchdown at the end. Yeah, a lot of great games. Texas USC, love that game. Love watching it. But yeah. And there's Tom Rinaldi. I believe this is his final broadcast. Either this week or next week will be Tom Rinaldi's final broadcast. Today was his final game day, so it looks like this is the end for him. And if it's crazy to think that Tom Rinaldi. I don't know why he's leaving for Fox. I don't know what they're giving to him, but because he's so well on game day, I don't know why he would leave. But let's hope that Fox uses him well, because he is he's one of the best storytellers in the country, and in terms of sports. So hope they find good use for him over there. But it was weird hearing that, like Rinaldi's leaving. That was a great game, USC Penn State. My dad hated that. He's gone to Penn State, so I have a lot of I have Penn State roots. 0506. Well, yeah, what was 06? No, because the year before was USC Oklahoma, and then the year after 0506. Okay, the 0506 season. Okay, fine, yeah, that was the best. Again, there were a couple for all the garbage that the BCS gave us. Oregon, Ohio State, that game was okay. That wasn't the worst. It was actually kind of exciting for a while, and then Ohio State just blew them out. There was some excitement I remember about the game. Like, wow, this is the first college football playoff championship game. I was so pumped up for it. I was so excited for it, and that was enough to deliver me through it. But yeah, the game probably itself wasn't that great, exciting, but it was fun to think back on it. So yeah, again, that was exciting there, but. Yeah, we've had a couple of good college football. I'm so glad we have the playoff as opposed to the semifinals. The Sandusky curse is why Penn State can't win. Oh, yeah. Hey, I'm fine with that kind of curse. I'm fine with that if that's the reason why. The most just immoral school, Rosen Allen, where a player who's considered a shoo-in to succeed falls on a guy who's considered faulty guys. No. And sometimes that happens. Sometimes that happens in the NFL. And yeah, we saw it with Josh Allen, and Rosen obviously flamed out. Obviously, you're very excited about your Bills as they continue to roll here. So, and they're just coming off a big one against the Patriots. One team is terrible in the Rose Bowl that year. That's right, Oregon and Florida State. And Jameis Winston was awful in that. I remember that was and I was rooting against Jameis because I considered him just to be an awful guy. I actually hated Jameis. Like, he's a great quarterback, but he's a scumbag. And a couple years later, it looks like he still is. But yeah, it's just. Remember he did the whole. Bleep him in the bleep thing after he got off a rape charge. So it was like, wow, you're scum. In the same draft for the same position. Yeah, so yeah, I never really liked Jameis. Cam I actually didn't hate. I know Cam had some problems, but I just thought Cam was moody. Jameis, I'm like, okay, this guy might be a bad guy. Cam I always just seen was a little bit moody, but I never thought of Cam as like, oh, he's a bad guy. Always had a thing for Cam, so I've always liked him. But yeah, Bills Mafia. And yeah, we will be covering those NFL playoff games coming up next week. So he'd probably bring up the Bills out of nowhere in a job interview if we could. Well, yeah, that's what his name is, Bills Mafia Rob. He probably would, but he loves his Bills, and good for him. And he's been one of my loyalist followers, so you know what? I'm happy for him. So pick Penn State over USC. The Penn State took that game. I don't remember who I picked in that game. I just remembered this would probably be a good game, and it was. Clemson 4-0 all-time versus Ohio State. Their third meeting in 5 years, so keep an eye out for that. And then coming up here, we got about 5 more minutes here, so we'll wrap things up here. But yes, again, Penn State, those were much better games. Why can't we get back? Why can't Notre Dame give us one good college football playoff game? Why can't they give us one? You should make a podcast. I should, and I would like to. I just don't know how many people would listen to it, and I want to get guests. I want to get guests for it, but maybe one day. But yeah, I'd be interested in doing a podcast. I want to do this enough to do it for a living. Right now, I can't. I'm doing it right now for a living, but I want to be able to do it for a living. And right now, hopefully, I need a little bit more success. But hopefully, that will happen. I just want to share this for a while. That's fine. Apples. Sorry. Okay. Why did Apple's autocorrect to? I think you have a problem, Rich. I think you have a problem. The red ones. Yeah, no, I know what apples. Gosh. You bring up Trojan, now you bring up... Goodness. What a weird podcast. Happy New Year, everybody. Or what a weird show. Whatever. This isn't a podcast. Yeah. I don't know. This game stunk, man. This game stunk. Gosh. Give us something. Give us something, Notre Dame. In one of these games. Please. But no. You give us nothing. You give us absolutely nothing. Now I'm forgetting. I forgot to, okay, yeah, I'll unblock them. So, yeah. Yeah. This game's, looks like my family's coming in. But yeah, this game was, I probably should wrap things up here in just a minute or two because my family's coming in and my dog's probably going to bark, so. That's probably it. But other than that, this game stunk. This was a waste of time. We all knew what was going to happen. We all knew Alabama was going to destroy them, and they did. Notre Dame has no idea how to win college football. Yeah, no idea. They've had no idea for years now. It's been how many years now? I hope this game will be better. I hope and pray this next game will be better, and I think it will. I think Ohio State will keep it close, but I think Clemson will eventually pull it off. Joe from Staten Island, what's up, Joe? But yeah, Notre Dame again. I'd like to see you show up once, but. In fairness against Notre Dame, how many other teams could keep up with Alabama? I'm not ssure. Alabama is just such a roll with their offense, with Devontae Smith, with Mac Jones. Again, the coaching and everything. Notre Dame just could not. Ian Book, sorry, you've had a nice career, but yeah, that was not the good way to end it out. Are you going to be on after? I will be on after Ohio State Clemson. I'll be on after that. No show tomorrow, but I will be on Sunday. Actually, I will have a show tomorrow. Not a live show, but I will have a show tomorrow for. Rutgers and Iowa. I'm going to have a Rutgers-Iowa show tomorrow, so keep an eye out for that. And then Sunday, I don't know what I'm going to be doing. Sunday I'm going to be doing the NFL show, so keep an eye out for that. And, that's the plan here for the next couple of days. And then I've got a couple other things Monday. So busy time here on the Frankie G YouTube channel. And hopefully you guys can subscribe for all the latest here as we, keep track of everything going on in the world of sports. So keep an eye out for that. But yeah, final thoughts. Just, I didn't hate the game watching it, but now I'm just sitting back going, that was 60 minutes of nothing. It was everything I thought it would be, everything, and nothing different, nothing new, nothing special. Just Notre Dame stunk in a big game. So yeah, just disappointing there. Just disappointing there if you're Notre Dame. If you're a Notre Dame fan, God bless you, man. Both of you guys. If you're a Notre Dame fan, you're just sitting there going, I cannot believe this keeps happening to us. How does this keep happening every single year? We have the same problems. We can't win big games. You beat Clemson without Lawrence. Good job. But after that, and here's the awkward. I'm going to interview the coach 5 miles away a bit. They're doing it with Dabo Sweeney right now. I got nothing. All right, that's it for now, guys. My family's coming in. I should let them know. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new to this channel and you like what you see, make sure you subscribe down below for more content just like this every single week. I'll be back. Well, it's for today because later tonight I'll be back for Ohio State and Clemson. So keep an eye out for that. And then, of course, we got a couple of, tomorrow we'll have a Rutgers video, and then we'll have the NFL videos and something. So take care. Congratulations to Alabama on another appearance in the College Football National Championship. See